Hello guys, we're going to get started here in just a second. Just going to share the link and we'll get going. Alright. Alright, we got ourselves a little contenders tournament here. This is going to be the first of 4 pre-scheduled contenders tournaments. These tournaments feature all the guys that did not make the cut for the big event that we had with Legends League. The winner of this tournament will get a title shot for the LLW Championship at a future primetime episode. Um, and yeah, we are. It's gonna be a 16-man tournament. That's something to keep in mind. So, the tournament events will be 2-part events. The first part will be the first round, and then the second part will be the rest of the tournament. Ooh, nope, don't want that. We'll just do CT CT as initials. Man, so many options for tag action for tournament stuff there. All right, we'll just use the regular LLW ring for these events. For the ref, you know what? That's a good question. We won't use Cokehead Carl. Let's use. We'll do Charles. We'll do Charles Robinson. Um, time limit. We won't do a time limit for these. Well, actually, you know what? Since some of these wrestlers are untested, we may want to put a time limit in just in case. We'll do the 30 minutes. We'll do 30 minutes. If it ends in a draw, then the match is just redone. All right, so this part's the interesting part here. Okay, so now I'm gonna. There's not really a specific matchup order here. I just got the 16 guys, so we're just gonna put guys in and go from there. Danhausen. Yeah, look for Danhausen. There he is. I might rearrange these depending on matchups. All right, then Kenta Kobashi. Rick Martel, I believe. Oh no. Shit. Oh, fuck. Damn it. Wait, I can replace that. I can replace that. Okay, I don't have to worry about it. I'm gonna have to exit. I might have to reset that, unfortunately, but it is fixable. I won't have to end the stream. I should have checked beforehand, but I got scrubby. I went through a move purge to clear some space, and I was a little. There it is. Okay, so I'm expecting. I really got to look through Martel though a little bit. He's kind of an older model. I don't know what move was deleted from here. Shit. Man. Hold on a sec. Ah, shit. Hold on a second. I got an idea. A little slight snafu here. So 182178. Sorry for the delay here. Apologies for that. Because I gotta know what move that was deleted. Oh, it was a spine buster. All right, got that fixed. All right, sorry. Sorry about that. I wonder if I can resume setting it up or if it's going to make me start over completely fresh. Oh, it's going to make me start over completely fresh. Okay, that's fine. I didn't have that much done anyway. Oh, sweet. Okay. 330. 330. 150. Alright. Perfect. Now let's get back to the wrestlers here. So, got Pittman. I'm going to start doing more with the alphabetical stuff. Makes it easier to find people a little bit. Danhausen, he was an FTOA. Kenta. Martel. Sean O'Hare. Chuck Palumbo. Animal from LOD. Gorgeous George. Oh, that's... I might keep that matchup. We'll see. Brian Cage. Ezekiel. Josh Alexander. Nigel. Junkyard Dog. Mark Briscoe, that's an FTOA. Dean, he's in IGW. And then Jack Swagger. let me look through the order here because I want to have at least good matchups in the first round that makes sense. Pittman and Danhausen. Bashi. You know what? Let's do. I want to make sure this is good. I like these two. These two I like. That one I like. Cage and Ezekiel should be fun. I don't know if I want Gorgeous George and Animal to face off each other because I feel like Animal should go against somebody with a little bit more zep. Let's do Danhausen against Gorgeous George. We'll do Animal and Pittman, Kobashi and Martel. Here, all right, we'll do that. All right, let's finish that off there, and we'll get the tournament going. Sorry it took so many extra minutes. Save it too. All right, first round in this stream. So, first up, Pittman and Animal. Let's see how it goes. Hi Sabier, how you doing? Yes, Sergeant Craig Pittman. So this, you got Charles Robinson refereeing this tournament here. All right, so here's how the Contenders tournament's going to work here. It's going to be a two-part event. It's going to be a two-part event. Tonight's part one will be all of the first round. Part two is going to be the rest of the tournament. Part two, I plan on airing either late tomorrow or Wednesday, because I do have another stream I'm doing tomorrow, so we'll see how that goes for pacing. The winner of the tournament's gonna get a title opportunity against the LLW champion. Currently it's Rick Rude, but we'll see if that stays that way when we have the next primetime episode. And that shot will be taking place at an episode of Primetime, of course. All these guys, I have this and 3 more contenders tournaments planned. All these guys were guys that were in line to be a part of the big LLW event, the Legends League event, but because of foolhardy planning on my part, they end up being cut for space. So this is their chance to get their names in the spotlight here. Power bomb.
1, 2.
Jeez. Pittman, what are you doing? Oh my god, Pittman.
2.
5 minutes gone. 1, 2, 3.
You punk!
Ooh.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Oh, he gets pressed out of the ring.
Finish!
Right on the concrete. Pittman's in trouble. He's got to put some moves together.
8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14.
Oh, he comes in with the baseball pass. Goes for the code red. No problem. All these guys were, because what happened was, all these guys that were in the event and in the next the next 3 contenders tournaments, they were all requested to be part of the event. And then when I went to set it up, I realized that I miscalculated the space available for all these wrestlers by a mile. So I had to go back to be like, hey guys, we're gonna have to trim it down by like half. And the guys you're gonna see in the following contenders tournaments, this one and 3 more, were guys that were gonna be a part of that event, but were cut. So it's just but there was a lot of old school wrestlers requested. There was a diverse mix of wrestlers. So you'll see some. Oh, he stole a maneuver. Ooh.
1, 2, 3.
Oh, with the upset, Pittman comes back.
Ow!
He moves on. Got a 90% match from Craig Pittman and Road Warrior Animal. Next one up, we got an interesting one. Yeah, well, it's funny because even though he kind of jobbed out in WCW, he was actually pretty accomplished in like Japan and other areas. For the core. Crash, hi Crash, how you doing? I don't think I've seen you on the channel before. If you haven't been on any of the streams before, welcome to the channel. All right, next up, Kenta Kobashi and Rick Martel. Let's see how that goes. Winner will face... Oh, you've been here? Okay. I think I recognized your name before. Corey, yeah. Winner of this match will face Craig Pittman in the next round. Let's see how it goes. Also, for people who've been following LLW stuff, feel that when we do the... Oh, yeah! Yes, now I remember. My brain fizzled for a second. Oh, Jimmy Del Rey, yes, yes. I get ya. I'm the same way with streams. That a lot of streams I watch, I usually just watch. I don't chat really because I'm kind of like, I'm too enthralled and stuff. But yeah, for anyone new to LLW stuff, we do another thing called LLW Primetime. That show is partially match request driven. So if you have match requests you want to see, for any wrestler, for any title or anything, like let your imagination go wild with it. Just let me know, and we'll put it. All right. Okay. Good. We're good. Before I was in. Okay. There was a little buffer. Sometimes that happens. but like I was saying, like for anyone new, definitely feel free to request any matches of any wrestlers, any title, anything, and I'll put them in a list, and we'll do them on LLW Primetime as we air them. The next Primetime episode is going to be very interesting. I plan on airing that one after we can conclude this current Contenders tournament. Part 2 of this tournament I plan on airing either late tomorrow or Wednesday. It just depends on the pacing of tomorrow if I'm able to do it or not. Ooh. Sleep over against Kobashi. Ooh! Just gets shocked. Martel might be in trouble. Well, Pittman last match, Pittman kind of had a little bit of a mini upset against Road Warrior Animal. Even though Road Warrior Animal is typically a tag team guy, he's by no means an easy win. So, we'll see if Martel can maybe pull off one. Oh, burning lariat! Almost had him with that. Oh, he's going for another one. Oh! Ropes break it up. Martel has to be careful. Oh, just wearing him down. Martel's in a lot of trouble here. Going for a back. Oh, counters. Vader's coming down to interfere. Oh, big splash. He's helping Kobashi. Kobashi, not Kobashi. Martel trying to fight off the onslaught here. Oh, one with Q there. Vader hammers. Oh, counter. Oh, charged him out of it. Back grapple. Half Nelson suplex. Oh, dragon suplex. Oh, another suplex cutter. Another dragon suplex. Oh, Kobashi freaking steamrolls over Martel with assistance from Vader. He'll move on. He'll face Pittman in the next round. Yeah, Martel just got wrecked. Next up, we got Sean O'Hare going against Chuck Palumbo. See how this one goes. Also, if there is a buffer again in the stream, like a little bit earlier, and the stream does get cut out, I will resume immediately, unless the internet just doesn't want to cooperate with me. Then I'll finish the event off stream. And typically what happens when that happens is I'll take the 2 parts or more, if there's more parts, and I'll download them, combine them as one video, and re-upload them to the channel as one video. Now I understand this is a part 1 of the tournament, but I kind of am still gonna do it like that just because I want it to, in this instance, I want this to be like a complete event and not partial. Because there's some events I do stream-wise where if it breaks up, it's okay. Like for example, like the big Legends League event that we just did. If there was any stream breakupage during that, then I would have just left it as is, because that's the way the event was kind of done as a little bit. But for something like this, I like to maintain a little bit of combinedness on some parts. Strike trading between the competitors. Oh, Shanton Bomb gets countered. Counter. Another counter. Oh, he's putting him up top. Counter. Splash. Super kick. Hip toss. Ooh, Widowmaker. Almost had him. Oh, belly to belly sends him flying out of the ring.
3, 4,
Ooh.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10,
Super kick in the back.
12, 13.
1, 2.
Big press. Irish whip. Oh ho! Catching Michinoku driver with the cover. Ooh, shoulder breaker. Oh, he's lining up. Oh, palm strike. Cover. Ooh, both men are down. Palumbo, first one up. O'Hare's very dazed. Another Irish whip. Oh, dodges the lariat. Pile driver. Both men are down again. Bulldog counter.
Let's go.
Ooh. Finishing maneuver. Oh, and he gets the win. '89 full throttle. His finishing maneuver gets the win for Palumbo. He will move on. Alright. Next up, we got Danhausen going against Gorgeous George. Old school wrestler against one of the newest schools of wrestling. Winner of that will face Chuck Palumbo in the next round. So let's see how it goes here. I'm going to double save just to be safe. See how it goes. Alright, that should be an interesting matchup. Arm drag, set things off. No counter. Oh! Going for a big maneuver there. Oh! Danhausen with some magic. George works the leg a little bit. Oh, rakes the face. Oh, going for some choking here. Ooh. Oh, works the arm. Counter. Danhausen has to be careful here. Elbow drop. Arm drag.
5 minutes gone.
Ooh, too fast. Count. Punch counter goes for a cover. Only gets 2. Irish whip. It's a drop kick. Oh, punch trading between the competitors. Oh, Danhausen with a bicycle kick. Headlock, trying to slow it down a little bit. Danhausen kind of, oh! Works that head neck area once again. Lands a drop kick. Oh, it's cool. Oh, he's pulling the tights. Oh, almost had him. Danhausen has to be careful. Oh, guillotine lock. Breaks the face again. Danhausen's in a lot of trouble. Counter. He's gonna have to be really careful. Ooh. But George, first one up. Cross chop. Oh, backslide. Clears the ropes. Almost had him. Danhausen hits a rolling elbow. Hits it again. Northern Lights. Foot just barely grazes the ropes. Winds up. Back elbow in the corner. Oh, stomps him to the ground. Rolls him up. Oh, almost had him. Delivers another stomp. Super kick. Rolls him up. Another super kick. Oh, he's getting woozy. Flying knee. Blocks the drop kick, surprisingly. Oh, uppercut rush. Danhausen catches his breath. George is dazed. Big slap. Oh, we got interference. Oh, it looks like... is that Too Cold Scorpio? Ooh. Oh. Oh. Oh, he's helping Gorgeous George. Oh, Danhausen's getting screwed. Oh, look at that. He's trying to fight it all off. Ooh. Oh, he's trying to fight it. Oh, rams his head in a turnbuckle. Oh, only taps. Wow. What a heel. What a heel thing. Finishes with his finishing maneuver, the step over toe hold. On a side note, I do know what George's legitimate finisher was, one of his legitimate finishers. There's video footage of it. Unfortunately, it is not on Fire Pro. So if there's any people who know how to do moveset creation on PS4 and Fire Pro, let me know. And if you're up for the challenge of creating a finishing move from the 50s, let me know, because I will share that footage on Discord or whatever. I forgot what it was called. It was like it's an interesting move because it's like it's like a headlock takedown, but he kips up and then throws him down. It's interesting. I wish I could show it on stream, but it's like something like hip something. It's like has a couple different names, but yeah. If I ever see that move one day, I will add it to that model, though. Alright, next up, though. Well, Gorgeous George is going to face Chuck Palumbo in the next round, but next up we got Brian Cage and Ezekiel Jackson. Man, Power Guy is going at it here. Yeah, Brian Cage is a kind of a newer-ish guy. He has a very diverse moveset. Ezekiel Jackson, he's just kind of a, I mean, he was kind of hot for a minute, like, because he was kind of like, in the WWE ECW days, he was kind of a rising star there, but once that, he was actually their last champion on that brand, but when they ended the brand and everyone kind of shifted to other shows, he just didn't quite flourish. I think he was a member of the Core, which was a breakup of the Nexus. So he did some stuff, but yeah, he never was able to go to that second gear like people wanted to. He looked great. He moved decent in the ring. It was just hard for him not to be another big guy. But in defense of him, he was a rising star during the PG era of WWE, so that killed a lot of wrestlers, in all honesty. Ooh, sidewalk slam. Yeah, I mean, AEW's definitely dropped the ball, I feel like. WWE, they're still, I don't know if they dropped the ball. At the very least, they still got one hand on it, but they don't have both hands on it. And the only reason why I say that is I am starting to feel like I will say this. I know no one's a fan of the roster cuts when they do happen, but I think it was kind of warranted this time around because I have watched a reasonable amount of their product, not really any of their shows, but but they're pay-per-views. I watched the first Raw Netflix show, and I've been watching the Saturday night's main event stuff. And to be honest, it's very weird, because on one hand, the roster size and the belt amount and the shows they have and the time of the shows, all of it... Shoot. Alright, good. We're good. Alright. Was nervous for a second. Alright. All of it on paper is set, but when you see it in execution, you still feel like there's so many people not getting a reasonable amount of action. Because in all honesty, because it's weird, like, they found a way with all the belts and shows and time they have to make it work with just 20 to 30 guys. Oh, F5. And when each show has double that, and you're only using half the roster reasonably routinely, Brian Cage just freaking goes through Ezekiel Jackson. It just kind of... Yeah, and I think a lot of it is a judgment call. I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that because I think a big thing too is like almost all, if not all of them, like 90% of the titles are wrapped around long-term booking and storytelling. So you have one title being held up by a champion and one or two contenders in the mix. And it's just those two or three guys for 3 to 6 months at a time, or even a year, and for some of them. I mean, and then then you got like 5 or 6 other guys just having random matches, and every once in a while having a group contenders match, which more times than not the guy that's in the storyline wins it. So they don't do a good job. It's hard to cycle through all the guys in the division when when you want all the belts to have long-ish reigns with the same small group of guys like fighting over it. Yeah. And look, I'm fine with long-term title reigns. It's just I'm more fine with the big belts. I'm more fine with that because I kind of get that, even though I don't think I think the most someone should hold a belt period is like around a year-ish, maybe a little over, maybe a little less. But I don't think a guy holding a belt that long is justified. I think the only times it's really justified if legit the whole division's depleted, but you don't want to get rid of the belt. So you're like, okay, hold on to it until we find somebody that we can craft a good story around. Either someone proves themselves that we have, or someone new we get. You know, I get that. But they don't have that problem. I just think that... I think all of it is a response to all the bullshit booking that happened in the late Vince McMahon era, where so much of it was complete bullshit, that I think they're trying to overcompensate by having everything just be a fucking marathon. And I don't know if that's the right way to go, you know? I think it does say something when you do change it up a little bit. Not every guy needs to hold the title for 100 days. You know, when Jey Uso lost the title after a short reign, I was fine with it. I had no problem with that because I feel like these mid-card titles, they shouldn't be held up like main card titles because we already have main card titles. Mid-card titles should be changed semi-frequently because it gives everyone a sample size of to show people what they could do as a champion. That's the point of the mid-card titles. Yeah, yeah, I get that too. Like Shinsuke, I mean, they finally put a belt on Shinsuke and then he barely defends it. But in defense to that run, I think they're doing that because they want to continue the LA Knight shtick. And now they're kind of recently throwing Miz in the mix. But that's the kind of thing I'm talking about because they talk about all these other guys. Oh, yeah, they're in contendership to get US title. But it's like, you're making it so obvious that it's just going to be the same 2 or 3 people in that story for months. All right, before I keep talking over stuff, next up is Josh Alexander and Nigel McGuinness. Winner will face Brian Cage in the next round. But yeah, I just think that But I think a big problem with that too is the fact that I think they also have to look at other stuff because they gotta do their women's title stuff with the mid cards. They also gotta do better with tags. I mean, there's a lot of factors, but you still need to, and you can't make the shows longer because people are complaining that the shows are too long. You have a bunch of them. You have like roster divisions and everything. I think the problem is that I think they're giving people way too long matches in the mid card. I think matches should be a little shorter. You know, I don't think because and here's the thing too, most guys, even the main event guys, they don't use like a gajillion different moves. Like everyone seems to use the moves they're comfortable with. Like, you're not going to see Drew McIntyre randomly bring out, like, a fucking tornado DDT or something. Like, he's going to do his key moves. He's going to do the Future Shock, Belly to Bellies, Glasgow Kiss, you know, Claymores. I mean, it's just a spamathon for a lot of the same moves. I mean, Jey Uso's probably the worst of it. But their movesets are built. I feel like everyone's movesets are slowly built to be for like 7 to 10 minute matches on shows, but they're giving them a lot longer than that. Now, having said all that, the matches are still reasonably good. There's nothing inherently wrong with them. It's just, I feel like if they're gonna I feel like right now it technically works, but at some point they're gonna have to look through all they got and be like, okay, either if we're gonna keep doing what we're doing, we have to trim up the roster a bit because we're not gonna be using any of these guys, and we can't just have them sit doing nothing. On the other hand, if they do want to keep them, they need to give people quicker matches because I know they're doing a new show soon, Evolve, that's going to feature their independent signees with a championship. It's going to be streaming on Tubi TV. I am intrigued in that. My only thing is I wonder how long the show's going to be, because if it's going to be the same length as the other stuff, I don't know if I'm interested. But if it's going to be shorter, I might keep up with it a little bit just to see the new talent come in. But I will say this, I do think if they're going to make that a long-term thing, I think they should make that the new actual NXT, and I think they should make NXT a true third brand, because I feel like that would solve a lot of issues with drafting rosters, dividing them, and everything. Because ooh,
1, 2. 1, 2. Yeah.
well, I made a joke a while ago with Gray Man. I said he does the 3 S's: spears, super kicks, and splashes. And it's just like, it's crazy to me because I've done Jey and Jimmy Uso on TWN. I've done the moveset research. I know they can do more than those 3 moves. I don't know why they don't. In all honesty, I think the only thing I can think of is why they don't is, one thing, they're older. They're not old, but they're not young either. So I think they're playing it safe. And two, in defense to them too, a lot of wrestlers on the roster don't do a lot of crazy, don't have very diverse movesets. Now granted, they still do more than Jey and Jimmy do, but it's not that crazy. Because the thing in the WWE sphere is doing things that are safe. That's why you see so many young wrestlers use the same or similar moves. Like, you have like 4 different ladies doing moonsaults as finishers, you know? Well, one, they're learning. They're still learning, like, they're still honing their craft, so they're kind of playing it safe. And 2, I think they also want to make sure they stick with safer moves because they do want, I think they do want their wrestlers to be able to be available frequently enough, so they kind of play safe. Oh, Nigel McGuinness with the win. I mean, there's a lot of reasons for it. It's like I'm kind of surprised they've let Kevin Owens do that package pile driver. I think that, yeah, I think so too. And another thing too is, and this is something to keep in mind too, by the time a lot of WWE wrestlers get to WWE, they've traveled the indies and everything. They've been everywhere, and they kind of know what works for them and what doesn't. And when they get to WWE, they also have to keep in mind who's already doing moves. But I think they're more flexible than they used to be. Just like I said, why you see so many ladies have moonsaults as finishers and that kind of thing. Because they're like, okay, look, we're just going to let them do the moves they're comfortable with. It doesn't matter if 3 ladies do a moonsault as long as it's treated like a big move. But again, at some point, I do think that... But then you go the reverse route with AEW, where you have, like, guys pretty much running marathons on regular TV. So I feel like there is a balance. I feel like between the two, I think WWE's way is probably a bit more safer and probably easier for wrestlers to wrestle that much. Because you also have to keep in mind that even though WWE's roster is kind of reasonable size, AEW's roster is fucking massive, and they don't organize everything nearly as well as WWE. They're chaotic as hell. So I think WWE's way is just a way to make things easier and simpler to plug in wrestlers and let them do their thing within a reasonable time frame. And also the wrestling style. I think WWE's wrestling style is a little bit more... I think there's a bit more of a strict organizedness to it. I think there's an idea like, okay, you're new to WWE. This is how we're going to do things. This is the system of matches and the moves that we know that you can do that you're comfortable with. And we're going to start with those and we'll go from there. Because I feel like a lot of the moves wrestlers do are also tied to their gimmicks. Like, for example, you're not going to see Braun Strowman do like a diving Hurricane Rana. Even if he could easily. Well, but it's weird because I read somewhere that somebody brought out to him, hey, since we're going to have Collision, we got Dynamite, and we got all these belts and these wrestlers, let's do a roster split. And split the roster and the belts between the shows. And Tony, vehemently, very strictly, said no to it. He didn't want to do a roster split at all. He just wanted to just do shit however he wanted to do it. And I'm just with all the wrestlers and all the belts you have, and now you got the shows, and now you got not 12 pay-per-views a year, but 9 or 10 or whatever, why the hell wouldn't you do a roster split? This is especially when you spend a good chunk of the time keeping track of wins and losses, organize things more like a sport would make the most sense. But he didn't do that, which is really crazy to me. Anyway... Junkyard Dog and Mark Briscoe coming up here. I just don't get the logic behind it. But I think the only thing I can think why he wouldn't is because WWE does it. That's the only thing. Yeah, exactly. And it makes it easier to book, too, because then you're like, okay, we have wrestlers in this show, in this group, in this belt division, so we're going to book within that, and we'll go from there. It makes it so much easier, and that's why WWE does it. Now, granted, I think some of their stuff might be too long-term. I do think there's some stories that should be more shorter-term that they make a lot longer-term. But I think a lot of their booking is also because they want to make sure all the wrestlers that they're showing on TV get their equal reps in, that no one's getting gypped, and I get that. But I'm sorry, but certain matches when I watch them, okay, not every match needs to be equally 20 minutes long. You can, have some diverse time lengths here. Or maybe trim stuff down so you can have another quick match in there somewhere. I'm not saying it has to be 5-star Shakespeare. It's just, I just think if you're gonna have the roster and the belts, I think you need to do and it's not like they're doing a god-awful job, I just think they could do a better job. I still think in terms of how they do stuff, I still think they're better than AEW right now. I will say this about AEW, I think between the two, I feel like AEW matches, you could argue on paper they might be slightly better than the average WWE match, but I don't think that's enough to say that WWE matches are inherently worse. I don't think they are. Well, the thing, and that's the thing too, it's not like AEW doesn't do storytelling. They do, it's just, I just don't think it's handled with the same level of foresight like WWE does. Because that's the problem, because when AEW started, their whole foundation was everything WWE isn't. And that worked until WWE became good again. Once WWE went good again with Triple H toe charge, then the game changed. But Tony didn't want to change with it. He still wanted to play the same card, and you can't do that anymore because WWE's already doing the stuff that everyone complained about, and they're beating you at it. Like, for example, WWE's adopted a lot more sport-like presentation in their pay-per-views and stuff, and they've done a way better job and consistent job at it than AEW has in recent years. They got the same amount or more belts and shows than AEW, but yet they're booked for the most part better than AEW. It's not 100% foolproof because you still got the Shinsuke effect with the US title. You know, even LA Knight did a promo acknowledging that Shinsuke hasn't defended it a lot. And it's like, it's so weird because why doesn't he? And I don't know why he doesn't defend it more. I don't know the reasoning behind Shinsuke's booking, because he does a gajillion matches when he's chasing, but he barely defends it when he has the title. And the thing is, we all know Shinsuke can talk. It's not like he's a silent guy, even though his gimmick's more on the less talky side at the moment. I don't get it, you know? I don't get the booking of it. And it is a sign that even though WWE, the thumb, is doing better, I still think there is room for touch-ups, to say the least. I do too.
1, 2, 3.
And I will say this, I think WWE's doing a much better job at working with other promotions, especially TNA. That TNA partnership has done fucking wonders for everyone involved. Ooh. Another thumb.
2, 3.
Oh, Junkyard Dog with the win. Wow. And I think it's made Royal Rumbles a little bit more exciting because while I love seeing Hall of Famers return in those things, all the big Hall of Famers everyone loves, like, they're all retired or can't do anything anymore. Like there's not really any real left because the closest ones that would technically be Hall of Famers are still wrestling on the roster, like Randy Orton and all them. So you couldn't really do them like that. So I think mixing up, having more NXT people and having people from other promotions join the Rumble like TNA to kind of cover, you know, the Hall of Fame stuff, I think was really smart because you still get the surprise pop and stuff, but I think it goes further with those wrestlers because it builds them a little bit in that promotion. So I've really enjoyed that. But yeah, I think the only thing I would really change with WWE is I think I would legit make NXT a third brand and have it draft wrestlers and have the new Evolve show be the actual like NXT. It sucks because on paper it would be so perfect because you could have Dynamite and Collision as the Raw and the SmackDown, and Ring of Honor could be the NXT. You know, it was a perfect way to do it. I know they ended Rampage, which is whatever, because they never did much with Rampage. I feel like Rampage, I think Rampage was, I think they were trying to make Rampage like a SmackDown, but it just became a Heat or a Velocity for them. All right, final match for the round here, and for the stream. The second part of the tournament will take place in a part 2 stream. Oh, excuse me. Dean Malenko is going to fight Jack Swagger. Winner will face Junkyard Dog in the next round. Yeah, but I don't think. But the only reason, but that's the problem though. Is the only reason why Ring of Honor is back is because of Tony Khan. Thanks, Savior. Because of Tony Khan. If it wasn't for him, Ring of Honor would still be dead. That's the problem. Because what it does is shows that no one else is interested in running Ring of Honor. At the time, at least. Nowadays, it might be different. But I don't know. It's just for me. I think what really killed Ring of Honor is the fact that Tony Khan couldn't get a TV deal for it. I think making it its own streaming service and not just a part of AEW as a whole, I think kind of wrecked it. Well, the problem is money's a non-issue for him. He's gonna do what he wants with this because money's no object to him, and because he's never gonna get rid of it. Well, and it's funny because I read an interview from a wrestler. I wish I had the names, but they said when AEW first started, Tony Khan and the people that worked with him had an outline plan for everything. Like everything was planned in advance, everything was organized accordingly. But very recently, the last whatever. There's nothing. It's pretty much whatever, you know, kinda, except for what Tony says. And it's so weird because I feel like AEW would benefit if they finally just sit down and just pick a style to work on. It doesn't have to be a specific style like hardcore or lucha or whatever. Just something that says this is AEW. Because right now, what says AEW to me at this point is a place where where I feel like it's the wolves, it's like the inmates are running the asylum. Because you have the New Japan guys that want to do New Japan stuff, doing New Japan stuff, like the Continental Tournament. You have the WWE like guys doing WWE stuff. You have the indie guys just doing indie stuff. You have the hardcore guys just doing hardcore stuff. Like, and that's fine if... I just wish they would go out and say what kind of promotion they are. If they're a promotion that says, oh, we're just going to do all different styles, this is the styles, I'd have respected more. But they're not really giving anything concise. They're just kind of like doing whatever they feel like doing at the time. Oh yeah, exactly. He should get people around him for that. I agree. Because I think that goes a long way too. Because I feel like him just getting the people, I think, would solve a lot of the stuff, because they immediately will tell him, look, we gotta do things like this. We don't care if WWE's doing it. It makes sense and it works for us. Okay? It's funny, like, even though they're polar opposites as people, I feel like he's slowly becoming like, ooh, ankle lock there. He's kind of developing a Vince McMahon kind of thing where it's like, I'm gonna run my promotion my way and no one else can say otherwise. I mean, it's really becoming like that, but in a complete reverse degree, where instead of him controlling everything, he's just letting, like, he's controlling everything by letting people just do whatever they want to do. Like, there's not, like, a clear, like, vision of what they're doing outside of specific things, but I don't think those are Tony Khan's doing. I think it's more the wrestlers doing, like, the Tony Storm story stuff. I feel like that's just more Tony directing it than anything else. Jay Lethal helping out Swagger here. Roll up.
1, 2.
Oh, goes for that ankle again.
10 minutes gone.
Roll up.
1, 2.
Satmare. Those are the clover leaf. Well, and that's the thing too. Like for all of Vince's faults, which there are a ton of them, like many faults. The one thing about him was that it was his business, and he owned that. He was the boss. He either did it his way or not at all. Now, granted, a lot of those times, especially later on, a lot of that stuff was not good stuff in a lot of ways. But if you're gonna run a business like that, you gotta have that sense of this is my shit. And the fact that Tony, after all these years, is still struggling with that is just a sign that he really shouldn't have been an owner of AEW. He should have just been a casual founder of AEW. He should never have run the promotion. He was trying to be a Vince McMahon, but he should have just been a Ted Turner. You know, if he just sat back and just let the money flow through the promotion, let other people run the shit, then that probably would have been a different story. Oh, Red, White, and Blue Thunderbomb does it. Swagger wins the match and moves on. Yeah, it's exactly like if Ted Turner was like, okay, I'm going to actually run WCW. It would have been way different than what it ended up happening. I don't know how different it would have been, but I think at this point, I'd rather just see Tony just be an enthusiastic owner as opposed to booking the show. Fantasy wrestling. Yeah, and unfortunately, I feel like some fans would actually book AEW probably a bit better than Tony Khan. Unfortunately, at this point. Alright, so that does it for the first round. So this is what to expect for part 2 of the stream, which is going to air either very late tomorrow or Wednesday. One of the two. Pittman will face Kobashi in the next round. Then we got Palumbo and Gorgeous George in the next round. Cage and McGinnis will fight in the next round. Then we got Junkyard Dog fighting Jack Swagger in the next round as well. So keep an eye out for that. Trying to think. The only other thing I can think of is for, like I said priorly, for anyone that's just joining this, if you like what we do here with LLW stuff, it is partially match request driven. So if you have matches you want to see, any wrestler for any title, anything, just let me know, and they will be shown at the LLW primetime events. But yeah, outside of the LLW streaming schedule stuff, there is another stream that there's another thing I'm streaming tomorrow at noon. It was a pre-requested thing. It's gonna be a choose your own game venture type of thing. The kickoff game's gonna be I forgot the name of it. It's like Pigskin something football on Genesis, but I am also be playing NHL Face Off 2003 on that stream as well. So that is something to keep in mind there. However, if people want to request other games during that stream too, they're more than welcome to. But that's going to happen roughly around noon tomorrow. That's the goal, at least. Other than that, I can't think of anything else at the moment. The only other thing I can think of is, let's see, TWN stuff. I'm going to try to put together another World Tour event. I'll probably do another IGW and HWH episode soon, but outside of that, there's not really anything so far. Here Comes the Pain stuff just concluded, so I'm going to mess around with 2K14 a little bit and kind of get a feel for it and see what we can do with the universal mode in it, especially the story creator, because I really want to do some story creating stuff, but I've dug into it quite a bit, and I may have to do some testing with it a little bit to kind of see if it's something I could do with a short roster. A small roster, I mean. So we'll see. But yeah, outside of all that, that's going to do it for this stream here, guys. Thanks for watching. In case you guys want to chat with anyone at the Campy Company, you didn't want to use the YouTube comment section, we do have a couple options. First one is we have a Discord channel. You can find a link to that about page / about section of our channel. We also have a community tab on our channel as well. You can access that anywhere, anytime. But yeah, guys, thanks for watching. Please subscribe and like the videos, and have a good day.